In anemia, we have three types. One is microcytic anemia, and the second one is megaloblastic anemia, and the third one is hemolytic anemia. Okay, so these are majorly anemia is categorized into these three types. And in microcytic anemia, we have iron deficiency anemia. We have completed this. We have sideroblastic anemia and anemia due to chronic disease conditions. So these three will come under microcytic anemia. In these three types of anemias, the size of the RBC will be less. I mean, its size will be decreased. Okay, and we usually calculate the size of RBC in mean corpuscular volume, and in this the RBC size will be less than 90 femtoliters. That already concepts we have discussed. And in today's class we will start about megaloblastic anemia. In megaloblastic anemia, we have two more types. Number one is folic acid deficiency anemia. Folic acid deficiency anemia. And the second one is vitamin B12 deficiency anemia. Vitamin B12 deficiency anemia. So these two are very, very important and most commonly seen anemias, particularly in megaloblastic anemia. Okay, these two types of anemias are also called macrocytic anemia. They are also called as macrocytic anemia. Now, see, in anemia categories, we have categorized into microcytic anemia and megaloblastic anemia and hemolytic anemia. And let me tell you, in hemolytic anemia, we have G6PD deficiency anemia, and we have sickle cell anemia, and we also have thalassemia करके एक disease है. So these are some genetic conditions where the breakdown of RBC will be rapidly seen. That's why they are categorized as hemolytic anemia. Anyways, now you see, my first question is, what is the difference between megaloblastic anemia and macrocytic anemia? I told folic acid deficiency anemia and vitamin B12 deficiency anemia are categorized under megaloblastic anemia. These two, megalo and macro, both the terms that are telling that the size of RBC will be increased. Okay, approximately the size of RBC will be greater than 90 femtoliters. Okay, all these concepts we have seen in the earlier classes. If RBC size is more than the normal size, then they are considered as macro. Megaloblastic anemia is commonly termed when patient's RBC size is greater than 90 femtoliters, and the second parameter it should satisfy is it should be immature. If RBC size is greater than the normal size, and if it is immature, that type of RBCs are called megaloblastic. In previous class I told sideroblastic. Sidero means iron, blastic means immature. Blastic jahan pe aaya, that means it is immature. And macrocytic means it is normal cell. यहाँ पे macro cell is normal. So in this folic acid deficiency and vitamin B12 deficiency, some RBCs, mostly RBCs are large in size, but the RBCs are immature, and very few RBCs are large in size, but very few are matured. Okay, so megaloblastic anemia is that anemia where RBC size is increased but cells are immature, and macrocytic anemia is the RBC size is increased but cell is matured. Simple. Okay, in folic acid deficiency and vitamin B12 deficiency, macrocytic anemia is very, very less. It is not seen as frequent as megaloblastic anemia. Okay, megaloblast are seen in both folic acid and vitamin B12. Why? Why folic acid deficiency and vitamin B12 deficiency causes megaloblastic? Because these two vitamins are very, very important in maturation of RBC, and also in forming new RBC cells. I'll explain the mechanism in detail in next slides. Okay, this is the basic thing of megaloblastic anemia. Now, let us start our topic. As we know, megaloblastic anemia is nothing but the RBC size is greater than the normal size, and blastic means immature cells, and anemia is decreased hemoglobin level, and or patient is having less iron binding capacity or oxygen binding capacity. Okay, particularly oxygen binding capacity kam ho jata, that is called anemia. Okay, so in megaloblastic anemia particularly we have two types. Number one is folic acid deficiency anemia. We'll try to discuss about this drug in detail, and after finishing this we'll go with the vitamin B12 deficiency. Now, before understanding about folic acid, deficiency anemia, we have to understand what is the function of folic acid in the body. Can anyone tell me what is the function of folic acid in the body? Folic acid का function क्या है? Main function क्या है? Yes, anybody from the class? What is the function of folic acid in our body? Function of folic acid. सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो. Before understanding the function of this folic acid, just see. Folic acid is available in most of the fresh fruits, vegetables, green leafy vegetables, meat, and it is available in egg, milk. Okay, बहुत सारे sources है folic acid के, बहुत सारे sources we have. When folic acid is absorbed from GI tract, see, most of the time folic acid is available as complexes. Okay, folic acid is available as complex. This complex folic acid in the GI tract, it will be broken down into its monoforms, which are called monoglutamates. Actually, folic acid is available in polyglutamates बोलते हैं, polyglutamates. Folic acid is made up of 3 compounds. One is GABA, one is stearate, and one is glutamate. Okay, 3 compounds मिलके एक folic acid it forms. So folic acid is usually available as complexes. Initially, it is available as complexes in vegetables and in fruits. All sources में it is available as complex. Okay, this complex folic acid, which is also called polyglutamic acid or polyglutamates. Okay, these polyglutamates enters into the GI tract, and in the GI tract we have GI microflora, and we have so many enzymes in GI tract. This complex folic acid will be broken down into monoglutamates. It will be broken down into monoglutamates in GI tract, and these monoglutamates will be absorbed. They will be absorbed into the blood, and in the blood, these monoglutamates again they will be converted into we call it as tetrahydrofolate. Okay, tetrahydrofolate. So tetrahydrofolate is the folic acid which is usually present in the blood. In the blood, we have one more reaction. What happens is this tetrahydrofolate will be undergone methylation. So one methyl group will be added in this tetrahydrofolate. Tetrahydrofolate के अंदर methyl group add होगा, and it is called methyl tetrahydrofolate. Okay. So this tetrahydrofolate is very important. This methyl tetrahydrofolate is not that much potent. इसकी efficacy बहुत कम रहती. This methyl hydrofolate is again activated. This is very important step. Methyl tetrahydrofolate, which is available in the bloodstream, it will be demethylated and it will be converted into tetrahydrofolate. Okay, methyl group जो है वो निकल जाएगा. And this reaction requires vitamin B12 as cofactor. यहाँ पे सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो. यहाँ पे देखो, the folic acid complex folic acid is digested, it converted into monoglutamates absorbed into the bloodstream. In the bloodstream it is available as methyl tetrahydrofolate, which is not potent one. So this methyl tetrahydrofolate is again converted into tetrahydrofolate in the presence of vitamin B2. So vitamin B12 is important in activating folic acid. Yes or no? ये चीज सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो. Vitamin B12 is important in activating methyl tetrahydrofolate into tetrahydrofolate. Yes, clear everybody this point? Clear or not? One more point you have to remember. There is another concept called dihydrofolate. Dihydrofolate is converted into tetrahydrofolate by one enzyme, dihydrofolate synthase, or dihydrofolate or tetrahydrofolate synthase. That enzyme converts dihydrofolate into tetrahydrofolate. Even this is also another mechanism, but I am explaining about the mechanism which is usually seen in the GI tract in the human beings. अब देखो, methyl tetrahydrofolate is demethylated into tetrahydrofolate by vitamin B12. Clear? And this tetrahydrofolate is very active form, and it has so many functions in our body. This tetrahydrofolate is active form, and this tetrahydrofolate will have pharmacological actions. इसके क्या actions होंगे? सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो यहाँ पे. It will help in biosynthesis of some amino acids. It is important in synthesis of some amino acids. Number 1. It is important in synthesis of purines. You know purines. And it is also important in synthesizing pyrimidines, purines, and choline, CHOLINE, choline. Choline is a basic amino acid which is important in manufacturing some biosynthesis of some neurotransmitters. And through all these amino acids, purines, pyrimidines, it is also important in making DNA and RNA. So this tetrahydrofolate is helping in forming amino acids, purines, pyrimidines, choline, DNA, RNA, and further it is important in cell proliferation or cell division, or we can simply say cell proliferation or cell replication, we can say. Okay, so in cell replication or to synthesize new cells or to mature new cells, this tetrahydrofolate is very important in our body. क्लियर एवरीबडी दिस पॉइंट? समझ गए सब लोग? अब देखो व्हाट हैपेंस इफ पेशेंट डेवलप्स फोलिक एसिड सिंथेसिस. सिंपल, ये फोलिक एसिड के फंक्शंस सिंपल यही, ये याद रख लो. नाउ what happens if patient develops folic acid deficiency? Before understanding the signs and symptoms or clinical presentations of folic acid deficiency, let us try to understand the common causes for folic acid deficiency. This is very very important. ये mechanism समझ गए सब लोग? Did you all understand this mechanism? Did you all understand this mechanism? Yes or no? Yes. फटाफट बोलो हाँ. अब देखो, now we will try to see the causes of folic acid deficiency, because folic acid is very important in forming new cells. It is very important in forming DNA and RNA, right? And it is important in replication of cells. Now what are the causes of folic acid deficiency? Folic acid deficiency के causes क्या है? Number 1, I will explain about each and every cause in detail. सब लोग बहुत ध्यान से सुनना. And based on this cause only our treatment is totally depend. Our treatment depends on the causes. Number 1, very very important cause is simple: deficiency of folic acid in the diet. डाइट के अंदर फोलिक एसिड कम हो गया तो व्हाट हैपेंस? पेशेंट विल डेवलप फोलिक एसिड डेफिशिएंसी. सिंपल. एक दिन 2 दिन फोलिक एसिड नहीं है तो नथिंग विल हैपन. इफ पेशेंट टेक्स diet which is not containing folic acid for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, up to 1 week, it will not cause any trouble, because folic acid is present in liver and it is stored in liver. If folic acid deficiency diet is taken for months, it will cause deficiency. ये चीज याद रख लो. Number 1 is, if patient takes folic acid deficient diet for long period of time, it will develop folic acid deficiency. This is one. In this you see, in folic acid deficiency there are some unhygienic causes we have. If patient is taking chronic metformin, what will happen? Folic acid absorption can be decreased. So overuse or chronic use of metformin may cause folic acid deficiency. Number two, if anybody is taking oral contraceptives, or there is a drug called cholestyramine. How many of you heard about cholestyramine? Yes, how many of you heard about cholestyramine? Romil has raised hand. Okay, see, सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो. Actually cholestyramine is a anti-hyperlipidemic drug. This cholestyramine is used to decrease the absorption of fats from the body. अपने बॉडी में particularly fatty acids and cholesterol absorption कम करने के लिए we use cholestyramine. So through that we can decrease the cholesterol level in the body. If any patient is taking cholestyramine is very similar to alpha glucosidase inhibitor like acarbose and voglibose. Voglibose will decrease the absorption of carbohydrates like glucose, whereas cholestyramine will decrease the absorption of cholesterol and fatty acids. Simple. So this cholestyramine, along with absorption of cholesterol and fatty acids, it will also absorb folic acid, and through that it will decrease the absorption of folic acid from GI tract. Simple. So these are some drugs which will try to decrease the absorption of folic acid from diet. So first reason is dietary cause. You understood about dietary cause, everybody? Diet. Number two is malabsorption, or if any patient has dysfunction in the GI tract, due to that absorption of folic, patient will be taking folic acid properly but absorption will not be seen properly. So malabsorption disease बोलते हैं, malabsorption disease. In malabsorption disease, let me tell you two things here. There is one disease condition called tropical sprue. Have you heard about tropical sprue? Anybody from the class? Tropical, ध्यान से सुनो. Tropical, फिर ये हॉस्पिटल में आपको आएगा. By listening that, by seeing that, you should not feel कि it is very new term. Tropical, SPRUE, sprue. Tropical sprue is one condition. It is a malabsorption disease. Usually it is a GI tract disorder, malabsorption disease बोलते. So in this disease what happens, particularly this tropical sprue condition, patient will have folic acid deficiency, and patient will have inappropriate absorption of folic acid. Particularly folic acid absorption नहीं होगा ये condition में. Why? Because patients GI tract, or patients the topmost villi and the mucosal and submucosal layers of the duodenum and small intestines are not responsive for folic acid absorption. Okay, that is called tropical sprue. So in malabsorption disease, tropical sprue is one very very important cause. अगर किसी भी patient में tropical sprue है तो we have to understand that patient is having malabsorption of folic acid, and patient will be having risk of folic acid deficiency. Simple. That is second reason. And third reason, or third cause of folic acid deficiency. Are you all following me? Are you all following me? Yes. See, there is another condition called liver disorder. Liver disorder. In liver disorder conditions, what happens? I told one point. Folic acid is stored in liver, right? If any patient has liver dysfunction, so usually liver storage disorder bolte. We call it as liver storage disorders. So if anybody has liver storage disorder, in that case also patient will have folic acid deficiency. Yes. Simple. Agar patient has alcoholic liver disease, if patient has hepatitis, if patient has cirrhosis, in all those cases, patient may have risk of folic acid deficiency. This is the third cause of folic acid deficiency. And now the fourth cause, very, very important cause. See, there are some conditions where patient will have lot of demand in utilizing folic acid. Okay, increased demand in folic acid, increased demand of folic acid use. So can anyone tell me the conditions where patient will have lot of demand in folic acid usage? Exactly, very good. Pregnancy. So pregnancy में folic acid demand ज़्यादा हो जाएगा तो folic acid deficiency होने के chances है. So pregnancy and any other cause, pregnancy, any other cause. फटाफट बोलना. Bleeding. If anybody has severe bleeding, bleeding में भी folic acid deficiency हो जाता. Bleeding, folic acid deficiency नहीं. Due to bleeding, lot of RBCs will be lost and patient will have lot of demand of making new cells. New cells के लिए more folic acid is required, no? So bleeding. And if patient has dialysis, see some patients who are with chronic kidney disease condition, in that conditions more blood will be lost due to dialysis. So in that also more demand will be there, more demand of making new cells and folic acid. In that cases also more folic acid is required. So increased demand में pregnancy, severe bleeding conditions, dialysis conditions. Okay, any other condition? If patient has liver disease also, liver disease is another condition where patient will have lot of demand. And see, one more cause is if patient has habit of tobacco smoking. If patient has habit of tobacco smoking, in that condition also folic acid utilization is required. More folic acid demand is required for the body. ये सब causes you have to remember. Pregnancy, bleeding, dialysis cases, liver injury or liver disorder cases, liver failure cases, and patient with severe tobacco smoking conditions. In that also more folic acid demand is required. Clear? Understood these four topics? Now you see, now the fifth cause is very important cause. Fifth cause is very, very important cause and very common cause. ध्यान से सुनो यहाँ पे. We have some drugs. The drugs which will interfere in the metabolism of folic acid. The drugs which will interfere in the metabolism of folic acid. Just now I told folic acid is not simply absorption होके directly action नहीं दिखाएगा. Folic acid is present in complex form. It will be converting into dihydrofolate to tetrahydrofolate, tetrahydro to methyl tetrahydrofolate, tetrahydrofolate. फिर again it will be activated. So all that chemical reactions are required. So in that reactions there are some enzymes which are showing very key role in activation of folic acid. So there are some drugs. Everybody should remember these drugs. There is a drug in the we have anticonvulsants in that particularly phenytoin. याद रख लो phenytoin. Phenytoin will interfere in the metabolism of folic acid and it will decrease activated folic acid and it will cause folic acid deficiency. Simple. इसके बारे में डिटेल में नहीं समझा तो while explaining about the epilepsy and all about phenytoin I'll explain that points. But remember, as of now you remember phenytoin will cause folic acid deficiency. Clear? Number two, there is a drug called methotrexate. Have you heard about methotrexate? Methotrexate. All fourth year students and third year students might have heard about methotrexate. Second year वाले अभी भी पढ़ रहे. Methotrexate is an immunosuppressant which is usually used in rheumatoid arthritis, cancer conditions, organ transplantations, psoriasis. बहुत सारे condition में use करते हैं. About this methotrexate mechanism I'll try to explain in next slides. I have diagrams. Okay, and try to remember phenytoin, methotrexate, and another drug. Have you heard about trimethoprim? Trimethoprim. Yes. ट्राइमिथोप्रिम. सुने नहीं सुने, हाँ या नहीं बोलो. ट्राइमिथोप्रिम. एंड वी हैव अनदर ड्रग. ट्राइमिथोप्रिम के बारे में डिटेल में समझा दूँ, अभी समझा दूँ. एंड वी हैव पायरिमिथामाइन. दिस इज वेरी सिमिलर टू मिथोट्रेक्सेट एंड ट्राइमिथोप्रिम. मिथोट्रेक्सेट जैसा एक्शन रहे पायरिमिथामाइन. एंड वी हैव 5-fluorouracil. 5FU बोलते हैं, 5-fluorouracil. दिस इज अनदर एंटी कैंसर एंड इम्यूनोसप्रेसेंट. Okay, and we have hydroxyurea. ये सब drugs याद रख लो. Hydroxyurea also causes folate deficiency. And just now I told oral contraceptives, and finally cholestyramine. Oral contraceptives, cholestyramine and metformin, these will decrease the absorption, whereas all these drugs, hydroxyurea, 5-fluorouracil, and trimethoprim, methotrexate, pyrimethamine, all these drugs will interfere in the metabolism or in the activation of folic acid. Okay, now use these are the different causes of folic acid deficiency. Folic acid deficiency के causes क्या है? One is deficiency of folic acid in the diet, one is malabsorption disease in that tropical sprue, liver disorders or liver storage diseases, and in excess demand of folic acid synthesis or folic acid utilization. So in pregnancy, bleeding, dialysis, liver dysfunction, all. And the next one is drug factors. In drug factors, phenytoin, methotrexate, and trimethoprim, these three are very, very important. Okay, and along with that, pyrimethamine, 5-fluorouracil, hydroxyurea, oral contraceptives, cholestyramine, and metformin, all these drugs can also cause folic acid deficiency. And finally, the last factor, the last cause of folic acid deficiency, sixth factor, is if patient exposes to ultraviolet rays, even they are having risk of developing folic acid deficiency. Okay, ultraviolet rays. There is a therapy called tannin bed therapy. Tannin bed के अंदर patient will be actually tannins निकालने के लिए ultraviolet rays therapy, radiation therapy is given. That is called tannin beds, utilization of tannin beds. In that cases also folic acid deficiency होने के chances है. Clear? So these are different causes of folic acid deficiency. Clear everybody? Are you all following me? Yes? Are you all following? Did you all follow these 6 causes of folic acid deficiency? Yes. Now you see. Just now I told the pathology, the physiology of how folic acid is absorbed and how it is activated in the body. See, dietary folate, I have taken this from Roger Varga textbook. Dietary folate is usually available as polyglutamates. Dietary folate usually starting में कैसा रहता है? They are available as polyglutamates. Complex form में रहता. These polyglutamates will be broken down into folate monoglutamates in the GI tract. ये gut में होता है. This reaction occurs in the gut. Okay, and next, this folate monoglutamate will enter into the bloodstream and it will be methylated, which is called methyl tetrahydrofolate. Methyl tetrahydrofolate. Just now I told this point. This methyl tetrahydrofolate is converted into tetrahydrofolate monoglutamate. Okay, here this reaction requires vitamin B12. That also I told. एक चीज याद रख लो, फोलिक एसिड एक्टिवेशन के लिए विटामिन B12 की जरूरत है. यस, फोलिक एसिड एक्टिवेशन के लिए विटामिन B12 is utilized as coenzyme. Okay, and this tetrahydrofolate is again converted into tetrahydrofolate polyglutamate, and this is again converted into dihydrofolate. Actually, these will have its actions. Tetrahydrofolate polyglutamates and tetrahydrofolate monoglutamate, these will have the different actions. It will show the action in replication of cells. Just now I told. Okay, so again this tetrahydrofolate will be converted into polyglutamates. Now you should ask me one question. Sir, you are telling tetrahydrofolate monoglutamate is showing its action, and then why it is getting converted into tetrahydrofolate polyglutamate? Can anyone tell me this reason why the monoglutamates, the activated form of folic acid, is again converting itself into polyglutamates? Can anyone tell me this point? Can anyone tell me why this monoglutamate is converting into polyglutamates? See, if tetrahydrofolate is available as monoglutamates, its probability of excreting from the body is very high. Tetrahydrofolate monoglutamate probability of excreting from the body is very high, and its efficacy is very high. So what happens? This tetrahydrofolate monoglutamate is converted into tetrahydrofolate polyglutamates, and it will be stored in liver. This conversion of polyglutamate will try to trap the folic acid in the body for a long period of time. It will increase the duration of action of folic acid in the body. Clear this point, everybody? Did you all understand why this folic acid monoglutamate is converted into polyglutamates? Okay, and again this tetrahydrofolate polyglutamate is converted into dihydrofolate फिर से polyglutamate form होगा. Okay, and here this dihydrofolate is converted into dihydrofolate is converted into tetrahydrofolate by one enzyme called dihydrofolate reductase. This enzyme is very, very important. यहाँ पे ध्यान से सुनो सब लोग. Dihydrofolate is converting into tetrahydrofolate by dihydrofolate reductase enzyme. And there are some drugs like methotrexate, and we have trimethoprim. These both the drugs, what they do, this methotrexate and trimethoprim will inhibit this enzyme. By inhibiting this enzyme, what happens? Dihydrofolate, which is inactive form, will not be converted into tetrahydrofolate, because tetrahydrofolate is active form. No, tetrahydrofolate convert होने के लिए क्या होना? Dihydrofolate should be converted into tetrahydrofolate. So when this enzyme is inhibited, what happens? Patient's active form of folic acid will be decreased and patient will develop folic acid deficiency. That's why in methotrexate and in trimethoprim overuse, patient will develop folic acid deficiency. Clear everybody? Is this point clear to you all? I'll give you more clarity, you see. Everybody should concentrate here. I'll try to give you clarity. See, सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो. अगर पेशेंट को methotrexate दे रहे हैं, if a patient is taking methotrexate, what this methotrexate does? Methotrexate will inhibit the dihydrofolate reductase enzyme, and by inhibiting this enzyme, what will happen? Dihydrofolate will not be converted into tetrahydrofolate. Simple. Tetrahydrofolate convert नहीं होगा. So what happened? The tetrahydrofolate is important in manufacturing purines. Actually, tetrahydrofolate will be converted into the tetrahydrofolate metabolite, which is CH2 folate metabolite बोलते हैं इसको. And this will again useful in thymidine formation, purine formation, pyrimidine formation, and it helps in RNA and DNA, and further it is helpful in replication. Okay. So here methotrexate is inhibiting this enzyme, and through that it is decreasing the production of tetrahydrofolate, and by that it is decreasing the activation of or actions of folic acid. Simple. That's why methotrexate overuse will cause folic acid deficiency. I think this point is clear. I am repeating many times. Okay. अगर किसी को डाउट है तो बोलो, किसी को डाउट है तो पूछना. Okay. Unmute your mic and you can ask. See, in antibiotics we have sulfonamides. Actually sulfonamides करके थोड़े drugs है. All sulfonamides will inhibit folate synthetase enzyme. This folate synthetase enzyme activity is not present in human beings. Human beings में folate synthase की जरूरत नहीं है. Why folate synthetase enzyme is not required in human beings? Because we are already taking dihydrofolate or tetrahydrofolate from the diet. From the diet we are directly taking this folic acid. And see, there are some bacteria and there are some plants which will try to synthesize their own folic acid through para-aminobenzoic acid. Para-aminobenzoic acid, from this precursor, from this para-aminobenzoic acid, some bacteria, fungi and plants, they will synthesize their own folic acid. By this, actually this para-aminobenzoic acid is converted into dihydrofolate by folate synthetase enzyme. Okay, so in bacteria actually, when sulfonamides are used, sulfonamides will inhibit this folate synthetase enzyme, and through that it will decrease the dihydrofolate, and through that it will cause bacteriostatic and bactericidal activity. That's why sulfonamides are used as antibacterial agents. Okay, so sulfonamides will inhibit this enzyme, and this enzyme is not, anyways, it is not present in human beings. Now, in human beings we have dihydrofolate reductase. Dihydrofolate reductase enzyme is inhibited by trimethoprim. Trimethoprim is a non-sulfonamide drug actually. So what it does, this drug will inhibit this enzyme, and by that it will stop the activation of tetrahydrofolate. That's why trimethoprim will decrease folic acid deficiency, and methotrexate also will decrease folic acid deficiency. Methotrexate and trimethoprim are having both actions. Why here sulfamethoxazole and trimethoprim are used here? Because there is a drug called cotrimoxazole. Cotrimoxazole. It is a combination of sulfamethoxazole and trimethoprim, which is a very important antibacterial agent, which is commonly used in urinary tract infections and in some respiratory tract infections. Okay, तो देखो, अगर किसी भी पेशेंट में कोट्राइमॉक्सोजोल दे रहे हैं, कोट्राइमॉक्सोजोल, if patient is taking cotrimoxazole, patient is having risk of developing folic acid deficiency. Why? Because cotrimoxazole is having trimethoprim. Okay, and you should remember always, sulfonamides will not cause folic acid deficiency, but trimethoprim will cause folic acid deficiency. All sulfonamides will act here and trimethoprim will act here. Okay, dihydrofolate reductase enzyme को inhibit करेगा. Clear this point everybody? अब सुनो, ध्यान से सुनो. Till now we have discussed about the causes of folic acid deficiency along with the mechanisms of some drugs. Clear? Phenytoin, methotrexate, trimethoprim, pyrimethamine, 5-fluorouracil, ये सब drugs के mechanism, particularly methotrexate and trimethoprim mechanism we have understood. Okay, now you see, everybody should concentrate now. What will be the clinical presentations with folic acid deficiency? फोलिक एसिड डिफिशियंसी पेशेंट्स में साइंस एंड सिम्टम्स क्या होंगे? साइंस एंड सिम्टम्स क्या होंगे बोलो? यस, व्हाट विल बी दी साइंस एंड सिम्टम्स ऑफ फोलिक एसिड डिफिशियंसी? फोलिक एसिड डिफिशियंसी में क्या होगा? हाँ, one point is very good. It will cause megaloblastic anemia, number one, because we are sorry, not it's हाँ megaloblastic anemia. Yes, it will cause megaloblastic anemia. Okay. Along with this और क्या होने के chances है? Along with this और क्या होने के chances है? What are the possibilities of folic acid deficiency? See, folic acid is very important in making DNA and RNA, and it is important in replication of cells. I told replication of cells. अपने बॉडी के अंदर रैपिडली ग्रोइंग सेल्स, अपने बॉडी के अंदर रैपिडली ग्रोइंग सेल्स कहाँ कहाँ होते हैं? वेयर डू वी फाइंड रैपिडली ग्रोइंग टिश्यूज इन अवर बॉडी? एनीबडी फ्रॉम द क्लास? वेयर डू वी फाइंड रैपिडली ग्रोइंग टिश्यूज इन अवर बॉडी? Excellent, very good. GA tract, one is GA tract, very good. Because in GA tract the epithelial tissues will be, the layer will be degrading and new layer will be forming continuously, new layer will be forming in GA tract. In GA tract means starting from the buccal cavity to the anus. Okay, buccal cavity, larynx, pharynx, stomach, small intestine सब आएगा GA tract में. And someone told skin, very good, skin. And we have rapidly growing cells in testis and also in ovaries, and all cavities. Simple बात बोल सकते हैं, all cavities. In all cavities are lined by epithelial tissue, right? All epithelial tissues will be regenerating always. Okay, the layers जो भी है, layers epithelial tissues पूरे degenerate होते रहता, regenerate होते रहता. This will be seen very commonly. Now in the deficiency of folic acid deficiency में क्या होगा? Replication रुक जाएगा, and patient, what happens? Patient will have dysfunction in GI tract. Particularly patient will have dry mouth, patient will have glossitis. Have you heard about glossitis? Have you heard about glossitis? Anybody? सुने नहीं सुने glossitis? Have you heard or not? I will try to show you. Wait. It will show glossitis. It will reduce the sperm count. It will cause dysfunction in the production of ovaries. Okay, and all epithelial tissues will be inactivated. Epithelial tissue पूरे inactive हो जाएंगे. So these are all clinical presentations we can see in the patients with folic acid deficiency. And सबसे very important is folic acid is very important in pregnancy. We discussed. Okay, pregnancy में folic acid deficiency अगर होगी तो what happens? Patient will develop neuronal tube defects. The child who actually क्या है, in children the tube defects can be seen, and proper generation of the spinal cord and brain is not seen. Okay, उसको neuronal tube defects बोलते हैं, which is very common when pregnant ladies develops folic acid deficiency. Okay, and megaloblastic anemia is very common. In megaloblastic anemia, actually what happens, all the red blood cells which are synthesized, red blood cells size will be increased and they are commonly immature. And in peripheral smear उसमें क्या दिखता है? Patient RBC will be having anisocytosis बोलते हैं. Anisocytosis means RBCs will have irregular shape, and poikilocytosis बोलते हैं. Poikilocytosis means irregular immature cells in large number. Okay, irregular immature cells in large number, they are called poikilocytes. Anisocytosis means irregular cells. These two things we can see in folic acid deficiency as well as in B12 deficiency also. Okay, so these are very commonly seen clinical presentations with folic acid deficiency. Clear? See, megaloblastic anemia में along with folic acid deficiency and in vitamin B12 deficiency, patient will have glossitis. Glossitis means sore tongue, pale, smooth tongue, ये सब दिखेगा. buccal cavity के अंदर glossitis दिखेगा. See this point. This is glossitis. The smooth tongue or inflamed tongue or red tongue, इसको क्या बोलते हैं? glossitis बोलते हैं. Clear? Reddish tongue. किसी भी patient में red tongue with inflammation and painful tongue or sore tongue, tongue के अंदर sore type आते रहता patient को, that is called glossitis. And there is another term called angular stomatitis. Have you heard about angular stomatitis? Angular stomatitis. This is another symptom which can be seen in megaloblastic, particularly in vitamin B12 as well as in folic acid deficiency. Particularly folic acid deficiencies. देखो, folic acid छोटे बच्चे में कभी-कभी थोड़े patients में the corners of this lips के corners में crack आ जाता है. यहाँ पे patient will develop crack. patient will develop crack. Have you seen these cracks in some patients? Have you seen these cracks in some patients? Yes or no? एक लिप्स कॉर्नर्स में क्रैक आ जाते हैं, छोटे बच्चे में यूजुअली दिखते रहता है, एंड सम ओल्डर पॉपुलेशंस में दिखता है. इट इज सीन इन मोस्ट ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन. दिस इज कॉल्ड एंगुलर स्टोमेटाइटिस. It is called angular stomatitis, which is commonly seen in vitamin B12 as well as folic acid deficiency. Okay, and the next one is altered bowel habit, diarrhea, constipation हो सकता है. Anorexia is very common. Patient को loss of hunger, बराबर खा नहीं पाता patient, and sometimes jaundice can be seen. And insidious onset, usually in folic acid deficiency and in megaloblastic, particularly folic acid deficiency, insidious onset means, see, patient will have disease. पेशेंट के बॉडी के अंदर डिसीज रहता, कंडीशन रहता, बट पेशेंट डोंट नो दैट पेशेंट इज हैविंग डिसीज कंडीशन. दैट इज कॉल्ड इंसिडियस ऑनसेट. और द कंडीशन इज स्लोली, द ऑनसेट ऑफ द डिसीज इज वेरी स्लो. द ऑनसेट ऑफ डिसीज इज वेरी स्लो. दैट कंडीशन इज कॉल्ड इंसिडियस ऑनसेट. इंसिडियस ऑनसेट मीन्स ऑलरेडी पेशेंट को डिफिशियंसी रहता है, बट दे डोंट नो दैट दे आर सफरिंग विद दैट डिफिशियंसी कंडीशन. ओके, एंड समटाइम्स स्टेरिलिटी. वाई स्टेरिलिटी? वाई स्टेरिलिटी? वाई स्टेरिलिटी? यस, एनीबडी? Sir, we don't know what is this. Yes, Shivani? Very good, very good. In females and in males, synthesis of what we can say sperm cells बराबर sperm count कम हो जाएगा, sperm activity कम हो जाएगा, and ovulation, ovary formation is not seen in females. That's why it may develop sterility. Okay, and bilateral peripheral neuropathy. This is very, very important. Peripheral neuropathy is very, very important. This is in vitamin B12 deficiency. This one I will explain now. And some patients will have melanin skin pigmentation. Okay, and sometimes fever is also can be seen. Fever बहुत rare रहता, but in B12 it can be seen. So these are the clinical presentations we can see in vitamin B12 as well as in folic acid deficiency. Folic acid deficiency and vitamin B12 deficiency is causing megaloblastic anemia. Simple. अगर किसी patient का megaloblastic anemia है, तो all these presentations are possible. These also can be seen in the patient. Clear? Now you see. This is skin pigmentations. We all know skin ब्लैक हो जाता, सी स्किन कलर टैनिंग आ जाता है पेशेंट में. ओके, दैट इज ड्यू टू फोलिक एसिड एंड विटामिन B12 डिफिशियंसी. किसी पेशेंट में ऐसा हो रहा तो डायरेक्टली यू कैन एडवाइज देम टू टेक फोलिक एसिड एंड विटामिन B12 सप्लीमेंट्स. ओके, एंड सी इफ एनीबडी इज हैविंग फोलिक एसिड डिफिशियंसी, किसी भी पेशेंट में फोलिक एसिड डिफिशियंसी है, तो सिंपल व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू रिप्लेस फोलिक एसिड. सिंपल, वी हैव टू रिप्लेस फोलिक एसिड. Folic acid daily requirement in normal patients 50 to 100 mcg is required. Okay, and in pregnancy it is required 500 to 800 mcg. But if anybody is having folic acid deficiency, we have tablet form as well as IV form of folic acid. So 5 mg tablets are available. So prophylactically 5 mg folic acid tablets can be taken every day. Okay, so this is general, very, very common treatment and very simple treatment for folic acid deficiency. Okay, अब देखो, if anybody is having folic acid deficiency due to methotrexate, if anybody is having folic acid deficiency due to use of methotrexate, methotrexate is immunosuppressant, and see there are some cases where methotrexate dose is required for chronic use. methotrexate एक दिन शुरू कर दिए तो it will be required its action for months, and methotrexate duration of action is up to 1 week, depends from patient to patient. Its duration of action is up to 1 week. Very, very important drug. Rheumatoid arthritis, cancer condition, colon cancer, lung cancer, gastric cancer, okay, and organ transplantations, बहुत सारे condition में methotrexate is used. Methotrexate is very, very important drug. And what methotrexate does, if anybody is taking methotrexate, what methotrexate does, methotrexate will inhibit dihydrofolate reductase enzyme. Dihydrofolate reductase enzyme, right? Just now I told. If this enzyme is inhibited, what will happen? Tetrahydrofolate is not activated and it will not show its action. So in that cases, what we do, we have one drug called folinic acid. Have you heard about folinic acid? Not folic acid, folinic acid. Folinic acid. ध्यान से सुनो सब लोग. There is a drug called folinic acid. Folinic acid is also called leucovorin. Folinic acid is also called leucovorin. In the image you can see calcium leucovorin or leucovorin calcium करके एक drug we have. Folinic acid is the precursor, or it is the analog of folic acid. Let me repeat the point. Folinic acid is not directly related to folic acid, but it is very similar to folic acid. Folinic acid is precursor. It is a precursor for tetrahydrofolic acid, simply. So folinic acid is given if patient is using methotrexate chronically, or if patient has methotrexate toxicity, folinic acid or leucovorin is the drug of choice. Clear everybody? Methotrexate अगर कोई patient ले रहा है तो what happens? Patient may develop folic acid deficiency. So in that case folinic acid is the drug of choice. Sir, वही folic methotrexate के टाइम पे folic acid deficiency हो जा रहा, so why can't we go with folic acid tablets? And why are you suggesting leucovorin? Can anyone tell me this answer? Methotrexate poisoning में, or if patient is using methotrexate chronically, why do we suggest leucovorin and why not folic acid? Anybody from the class? See, if we go with folic acid again, if we go with folic acid, what happens? Folic acid will be again converted into dihydrofolate. Storage होने के लिए ये reaction होते रहता body में. Tetrahydrofolate converts into dihydrofolate, dihydrofolate again converts into tetrahydrofolate. This is common reaction, no? If folic acid tablet is given, if folic acid is converted into dihydrofolate, again dihydrofolate should convert into tetrahydrofolate to show its action, no? So in that case also it is decreasing the activity. Methotrexate is decreasing activity. That's why in that cases what we have to do, we have to give folinic acid. So folinic acid directly shows same action like tetrahydrofolate, or it will be converted into tetrahydrofolate. Okay, so यहाँ से फिर reaction वापस नहीं जाएगा. So what happens in methotrexate poisoning, or if patient is taking methotrexate, we have to go with folinic acid, because here dihydrofolate conversion is not required if folic acid is given. Simple. Clear everybody? Is this point clear to you all? Yes? Okay. So folic acid deficiency, what we have seen, what are the uses of folic acid, what is its physiology in the body, what are the common causes and different pathological conditions, how folic acid deficiency is seen, and what happens, the clinical presentations of folic acid, and if patient has folic acid deficiency, what treatment should be given. Simple, it is very easy. Folic acid deficiency hai, so we can go with folic acid tablets. If methotrexate toxicity, or if any other causes is there, any drug related causes, we can go with folinic acid. Simple. Okay, so folic acid and folinic acid, two forms we have in deficiency of folic acid. Clear? Now you see, we have already discussed this point also. Methotrexate, barbiturates, phenytoin, cholestyramine, oral contraceptives, sulfasalazine. Sulfasalazine is sulfonamide. Okay, and methotrexate, pyrimethamine, triamterone, pentamidine, and trimethoprim. यहाँ पे sulfasalazine, why they have listed I don't know. This sulfasalazine, what it does? Sulfasalazine will inhibit this enzyme. Enzyme का नाम क्या था? Folate synthetase. Sulfasalazine will inhibit folate synthetase, this enzyme. Maybe that sulfasalazine also is having dihydrofolate reductase activity. That's why they might have given. But remember one thing, sulfonamides will not cause folic acid deficiency. एक चीज याद रख लो, simple. Trimethoprim will cause folic acid deficiency. Okay, so these are some drugs. Now we will try to see the vitamin B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 deficiency. Simple, vitamin B12 is very very important. सब लोग ध्यान, I'll try to tell you 5 points. Number 1, vitamin B12 deficiency is commonly seen in patients who are strict vegetarians. Anybody vegetarians in our class? Strict vegetarians है कोई? Strict vegetarians कोई है? In strict vegetarians folic acid deficiency होने के chances सबसे ज़्यादा है. हर्षवर्धन and ध्रुवी पटेल, very good. Strict vegetarians को B12 deficiency होने के chances सबसे ज़्यादा है. Sir, हम तो vegetarians है, but we are not facing vitamin B12 deficiency. Like that you will tell. Good. It is not कि all vegetarians will develop vitamin B12, because in every human being we have gastric microflora which will try to synthesize the vitamin B12. And one more very important point, once if vitamin B12 is synthesized in the body, 1 to 2 mg of vitamin B12 is stored in the body. This 1 to 2 mg of vitamin B12 is required. It is sufficient for 1 to 2 years. Do you know this point? 1 to 2 mg of vitamin B12 which is stored in the liver, this is enough to show its action for 1 to 2 years. That's why all vegetarians will not develop vitamin B12 deficiency, because body में storage रहता, कभी कभी मिल ही जाता. Okay, and now number 2, see vitamin B12, how vitamin B12 is absorbed from GI tract, that we have to understand. See, just imagine this is a stomach, and from the stomach we have, just imagine this is a small intestine. Okay, when vitamin B12 is coming in the duodenum and in the small intestine, vitamin B12 is uptaken by the intrinsic factor. there are some intrinsic factors which are present on the GI mucosal tissues, and these intrinsic factors are produced by parietal cells. Okay, parietal cells will produce intrinsic factors. These intrinsic factors will capture the vitamin B12 and they will transfer through the membrane, and it will help in absorption of vitamin B12 into the blood के अंदर absorb हो जाएगा. How due to intrinsic factors, and these intrinsic factors are produced by parietal cells in the GI tract. If anybody has deficiency of intrinsic factor, that condition is called pernicious anemia. What is pernicious anemia? Pernicious anemia is also a type of megaloblastic anemia. But particularly pernicious anemia is caused due to the deficiency of vitamin B12 due to the deficiency of intrinsic factor in the GI tract. That is called pernicious anemia. Clear everybody? Pernicious anemia समझ गए सब लोग? Pernicious anemia, folate deficiency anemia, megaloblastic anemia, macrocytic anemia, ये terms they are very very similar, but you should not confuse. Pernicious anemia किसको बोलते हैं? Particularly vitamin B12 deficiency due to intrinsic factor inability or intrinsic factor alteration और intrinsic factor deficiency. अगर किसी पेशेंट में पेरिटल सेल डिस्ट्रॉय हो गए तो pernicious anemia आ जाएगा. If anybody's intrinsic factors are not effective, patient will develop pernicious anemia. If anybody has a gastrectomy, थोड़े gastric tissue को कट कर देते पेशेंट में, in that also intrinsic factors deficiency होने के chances है, absorption होने के chances कम है. In that condition also patient will develop pernicious anemia. Okay, so in vitamin B12 deficiency, pernicious anemia is very common type. डाइट में अगर विटामिन B12 कम हो गया तो it is possible, and strict vegetarians it is commonly seen. Okay, and vitamin B12 deficiency में उतने ज़्यादा concepts nothing we have. Now you see what is the function of vitamin B12 in the body. This is very important. I'll try to tell you some basic things and very brief things. Vitamin B12 के function क्या है? Vitamin B12 के 3 functions we have. Vitamin B12 के कितने 3 functions we have? Number one is hemopoietic function. Number one, hemopoietic function. It helps in activation of folic acid, and it helps in formation of new RBCs. Yes or no? Vitamin B12 कैसा यूज होगा? Vitamin B12 will activate folic acid, and through that it helps in formation of new RBCs. That is hemopoietic function. Hemopoietic function means it is helping in producing new RBC. Clear? This is first function. Number second function is neurologic function. Okay, in neurologic function what it does, this vitamin B12 is helpful in manufacturing of new neurons, new nerve cells. Simple nerve cell regenerate करने के लिए we require vitamin B12, and vitamin B12 is important in making myelin sheath. You might be knowing what is myelin sheath. Okay, cell fiber is covered by myelin sheaths, right? Cell fibers are covered by myelin sheath. यहाँ पे ड्रा करना नहीं आ रहा मेरे को. Okay, so myelin sheath form करने के लिए, and vitamin B12 is also important in regenerating new cells, regenerating brain cells, regenerating or formation of new tissues, formation of spinal cord, brain, ये सब. That is second neurological function. And third function is it also helps in formation of some new tissues, like it helps in formation of new epithelial tissues, epithelial cells. Okay, buccal tissue में it helps in forming new tissues. All. So these are 3 functions. अब देखो vitamin B12 deficiency में क्या होगा? In vitamin B12 deficiencies, these 3 actions: hemopoietic function deteriorates and it decreases for production of RBC, and patient develops megaloblastic anemia. Simple. And in neurologic function, vitamin B12 deficiency, neurologic function is deteriorated, and it will cause peripheral neuritis, or it will cause peripheral neuropathy. Strict vegetarians सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो. कभी भी आपके बॉडी के अंदर if you have tingling sensation, or if you have what we say pinning like sensation, tingling sensation, or what we say sensory कम हो जाना, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? I'm not getting that term. So if nerve related symptoms or nerve pain symptoms or sensory symptoms बराबर नहीं है, तो you should suspect that you are having vitamin B12 deficiency. सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो. Particularly strict vegetarians. Okay, so in that cases vitamin B12 external supplements we have to take. Okay, विटामिन B12 कैसा ऑब्जर्व होगा, व्हाट इज द फिजियोलॉजी एंड व्हाट आर द फंक्शंस एंड व्हाट हैपेंस इफ विटामिन B12 deficiency occurs. Simple. And if anybody has intrinsic factor deficiency, patient will develop pernicious anemia. Very simple. Now you see, if anybody has pernicious anemia or vitamin B12 deficiency anemia, so the standard therapy what we have, particularly in vitamin B12 deficiency anemia, we will go with hydroxycobalamin 1 mg. It is given IM 3 times a week for 2 weeks. Week में 3 बार, 2 weeks should be given, and it should be and 1 mg after that 1 mg should be given every once in 3 months. So this is the standard therapy that can be given if anybody has vitamin B12 deficiency. ये standard therapy follow हो सकते नहीं तो नहीं, depends on the patient symptom. Okay, अगर symptom ज़्यादा है तो we can increase the dose. If there is no symptom, 2 to 3 weeks देके उसके बाद छोड़ भी सकते हैं, no problem. And we have cyanocobalamin oral form, IM form, and also subcutaneous form. And hydroxycobalamin we have particularly IM form. Okay, and methylcobalamin करके we have, which is commonly oral form. IV form में भी मिलता है. Methylcobalamin is commonly seen in oral form. Okay, and one more point, most of the vitamin B12 IV forms, they should not be suggested in bolus IV. Okay, bolus IV में ज़्यादा अपन use नहीं करना. Either we can go through subcutaneous route or we can go through deep IM route. Okay, and if we are suggesting vitamin B12, we can mix this vitamin B12 along with water for injection or with normal saline, and we can slowly infuse the patient, because it may have high risk of causing एनाफिलैक्सिस कॉज करने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा है अगर फास्ट IV बोलस में दिए तो. ओके, सो दिस इज द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ विटामिन B12 डेफिशिएंसी और पेर्निशियस एनीमिया. सिंपल रिप्लेसमेंट थेरेपी दे देना, सिंपल, क्लियर. नाउ यू सी if anybody has vitamin B12 deficiency anemia, if anybody has vitamin B12 deficiency anemia or vitamin folic acid deficiency anemia, or if anybody has megaloblastic anemia, do we suggest iron supplement? Do we suggest iron supplement? Yes, iron supplement देना नहीं देना megaloblastic anemia में, yes or no? फटाफट बोलो. It's not mandatory to go with iron. If patient has vitamin B12 deficiency, folic acid deficiency, and again iron deficiency, in that cases we have to go, or else it's not necessary. This is first point. Number 2, is it necessary to go with blood transfusion? Iron ये megaloblastic anemia में can we go with blood transfusion? Yes, Romil. Anybody from second years? हाँ, मान लो hemoglobin concentration is 6 grams. Do we go with blood transfusion? Why? हाँ, चलो 4 grams है भाई, 4 grams है. Patient is having 4 grams and patient is having megaloblastic anemia. Do we go with blood transfusion? याद रख लो सब लोग, megaloblastic anemia में whatever the concentration of hemoglobin is, we should not go with total blood transfusion. Total blood transfusion नहीं देना, because in megaloblastic anemia total blood transfusion is not tolerated by patients. Patient will not tolerate. यहाँ पे अगर hemoglobin बहुत कम है, less than 6, less than 4, we can go with packed cell volume. Packed cell volume दे सकते, packed cells दे सकते. Packed cells or the particularly separated RBCs, cytoplasm, what we say, serum and plasma separate करते ना, उसको packed cell volume बोलते. That we can go. Okay, in megaloblastic anemia, that we can. This is very important point. Okay, and yes, if anybody is having megaloblastic anemia, we have to suggest the folic acid rich diet, meat, and vitamin B12 diet, fresh green leafy vegetables and all we have to suggest. And आप सजेशन ओरल रूट में कम देना. अगर पेशेंट इज हैविंग मेगालोब्लास्टिक एनीमिया, 1 to 2 months of folic acid and vitamin B12 supplements are given. Simple replacement therapy देना यहाँ पे. Okay, and if anybody is having drug abuse, we have to treat according to the cause. Based on the cause, we have to treat the patient. Clear everybody? Yes. In next class, I'll try to discuss about hemolytic anemia. And we have hemolytic anemia में we have so many genetic causes, sickle cell disease, G6PD deficiency, बहुत interesting cases we have. I'll discuss all the cases from each anemia. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll meet in the next class.